welcome back to the Film and TV channel. Hope you're all staying safe and well. And yes, we have a film today that's been very popular, and I did see a lot of great reviews for this. And sometimes, if you see a lot of great reviews for something, you have high expectations. I mean, when 90% of the people are saying this is a good film, you do have high expectations. And I will admit now, I was left a little bit disappointed with this. When it gets down to the nitty gritty, there's not a lot new to this. There's stuff in a similar sort of genre. It's tried to be a little bit clever, tried to add a few little bits and pieces. It's the sort of film sometimes I'd say it's up its own arse, in fairness. I just think it thinks it's better than it actually is. But I'm not a total downer on it. I'm just not as enthused as some other people are. And we're talking about a horror film, and it's called Sinners. 15 certificate, 137 minutes, which, you know me, over 2 hours I start to panic and worry a little bit, and I certainly did with this one. It's written, co-produced and directed by Ryan Coogler, getting a lot of love out there. It's set in 1932. I like these sort of historical sort of things in the Mississippi Delta. It is set in modern times at times as well. You get sort of mishmash of some modern things coming into it just to be a bit quirky, which is what it does. And it's about twin brothers who return to their hometown to start again, only to be confronted by a supernatural evil. Yes, tagline for this one, Dance with the Devil. There you go. This is Michael B. Jordan twice. You get two helpers of Michael B. Jordan because he plays the twins. Haley Steinfeld, Miles Creighton, Jack O'Connell, Wunmi Masaku, Jamie Lawson, Omar Miller and Delroy Lindo. Always nice to see Delroy. This was released in the USA on April the 18th. Check your territories wherever you are. I'm doing this review on the 25th of April, so about a week later. Right, for me, this film oozes atmosphere. I was expecting a sort of From Dusk Till Dawn, and there's certain elements of that in there, but there's other things as well. I'll talk about that as we go through it. Of course, From Dusk Till Dawn is one of my favourite vampire films, probably ever, actually. You know, there's been a few, but, you know, even back to the old Hammer days. But of the modern type, I thought it was a cracking film because, you know, with the fact that it doesn't get started till about, I don't know, I wouldn't say, a third through or just over a third through. And this does a similar theme. This takes a lot from Dusk Till Dawn. You do know something's going on from very early doors, of course, as we do, but it doesn't really get going. So very similar to Dusk Till Dawn till a bit later on. The soundtrack is excellent, though not really my cup of tea, apart from the vampire bits, the vampire music, the sort of Irish country vibe that you get with them, as opposed to the other vibe, the other music, the jazz sort of style, which isn't really my thing anyway. But the thing of it is, it's a lot of it. Some of it could have been lost. I mean, I've mentioned the word bloated here. I think the runtime's a bit bloated on this. It's far too long. It doesn't need that sort of length of time. You could have cut out quite a lot of this. And I did find the action and the story, away from the horror element, a little wearing. Yes, it took a little bit to get going. There's a little mix of modern stuff, as I said, in there thrown in. It just makes it a little bit silly and, as I said, up itself rather than clever. And it only really got interesting when the bloodlust started, you know, all the vampire side started. But I always appreciate something a little bit different. I would have liked a little more work on the plot rather than these dreamlike sequences. And the actual some of the music. But you've got to set it up actually, because there's quite a lot of characters in this, so you've got to try and set up the characters so you either like them or you don't like them. Of course, when the shit hits the fan and they all start, you know, having to fight to stay alive, etc., etc. I mean, Peter Bradshaw from The Guardian rated it at 60, which was one of the lowest actually for this. There's not many rated at 60 and below. He said, for many, the movie could as well do without the supernatural element. I thought that's probably one of the better things. And I admit I'm one of them. I'd prefer to see a real story with real jeopardy work itself out, but there is energy in comic book brashness. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, the supernatural element, I thought it was good. Could have probably been better for me, better developed. There's a lot of forgiveness for this film. As I said, there are some flaws in it, obviously, but a lot of people are loving it, giving it a lot of credit. Wendy I from The Observer scored it 80 out of 100. She said, if you pick apart the story threads, Sinners is a little messy, but Coogler's assurance and vision holds everything together. So even though she's critical, she's still giving it 80 out of 100, which is a pretty high mark. Yes, I mean, when it hits the spot. A few didn't like the second half of the film. They thought that it sort of got too formulaic, but for me that was the best bit. That was where the more interesting stuff was, although yes, it did get a little bit formulaic and we've seen it all before. Helen O'Hara from Empire goes full on with this. She gave it 80 out of 100 as well. She said, an idiosyncratic, thematically dense twist on the vampire myth that's oddly placed but beautifully played, one to sink your teeth into. There you go, we even get the vampire connections as well. She gave it an 80, as I said. Despite its unusual approach, I preferred the more formulaic stuff and chop out about 20-30 minutes of it on the cutting room floor. Mainly from the first half of the film, that would have helped. But credit the director, I think, for his attempts. Not new, as I said. There's nothing new about this. A lot of people are sort of as though it's total twist on the vampire sort of story. It's been done before many times, but there's a fair amount of effort gone into this, so I do appreciate that. And by the end, yes, of course, it does borrow from Dusk Till Dawn, but it also borrows from films like Let Me In, cracking film, and perhaps The Thing even. The Thing, I saw elements of that, and there's nothing wrong with that because they're free quality films. The pedigree of those three films is excellent. But for me, beneath all the quirky presentation and very classy production, it's very well put together. It just turns into a fairly ordinary vampire story for me. I'm not blown away by it at all. As I said, the sort of quirky bits, I just think of too smart. And the director's enjoying himself more than the public or the critics. But having said that, the critics love it, so I am in the minority. Let me know what you think. It'd be great to have your views. Rotten Tomatoes, 301 critics, 295 fresh and just 6 rotten, so it's 8.8 out of 10, so that's pretty conclusive, isn't it? The consensus, a rip-roaring fusion of masterful visual storytelling and toe-tapping music. Yeah, but I like some of the music. Writer-director Ryan Coogler's first original blockbuster reveals the full scope of his singular imagination. I'm sorry, mate, it's not his imagination. He's adapted things, but he's nicked stuff from all over the place for this. He's nothing clever. I don't know what all the hype is. It did well. I'm sure he had a big budget for it. I'm not sure what the budget was offhand. I usually make a little note, but anyway. Metacritic, 84 out of 100, based on 55 critics. 51 were positive, just 4 mixed, no negative. So as I said, it's... wholeheartedly loved this one. Rotten Tomatoes audience, 4.8 out of 5. The Metacritic users, Joe Public, 7.5 out of 10. Internet Movie Database, over 32,000 scores and reviews. It's getting 8.2 out of 10. I'm in the minority, I know. I don't mind saying it. I don't mind going against the grain. But it's okay, it's fine. It's just too long. And I've seen it all before, but I did find bits of it interesting. So, yes, I was fresh on Rotten Tomatoes. I'm not going to be, I can't be rotten on this one. I was positive on Metacritic. I can't be totally mixed or negative because there's enough in it to like. And I will give it my watchable score, but it's nothing like what other people are giving it. I'm just going to give it a 6 out of 10 for being watchable and recommend you watch it if you like vampire films, because, as I say, it's been a little while since we've seen a little bit of a sort of twist on it, a twist on a vampire film, a little bit different to the norm. Of course, we get lots and lots of sort of Walking Dead stuff now, don't we? Zombie stuff and creatures eating people, etc. But vampire films are a bit thinner on the ground. Is it the best from Dusk Till Dawn? Possibly, but I say it's took a lot. Nowhere near that. I mean, if I was to rate Dusk Till Dawn, I would probably rate that an 8 out of 10. I'm going to rate this a 6 out of 10. Anyway, it's all opinions. Doesn't matter. It'd be very boring, wouldn't it? If we all thought the same. So let me know your views, guys. It'd be wonderful to hear your comments. And if you do like what I try and do with the channel, as I say, it's not just about me. I try and give other people's views as well, and I tell you if I'm in the minority or people agree with me. I think it's how it should be. It gives you a good good view of whether you, if you've not watched it yet, whether you want to go out and watch it. So hope that helps. And if you like what I do on the channel, you want to try and help support me for the future, I'm always willing. I'm not too proud to not accept help, and there are different ways of doing that. And all I ever ask is to find out how. Just keep watching and listening. To help me out, guys, if you watch the ads, if the ads on this YouTube ads, that helps in a very little way, but it all helps. All, you know, watch the pennies and pounds look after themselves, they say, don't they? Or the pennies or the 10p's look after themselves. But if you watch the ads or follow the links on the ads as well, that's always a nice way to support the channel. If you sort of hang on for it, I've done that. I watched other people's and followed the ads, just something I fancied, which does happen from time to time. Of course, you can support me by pushing that subscribe button as mentioned earlier, and that of course pressing the button so you know when these vlogs are coming out. And of course I'm always interested in your opinions, and of course if you can give us a like, that'd be wonderful as well. So thanks for watching, guys. Hopefully I'll join you very, very soon with something else. Until we meet again, I'll never ask one thing, don't I? Please stay safe, everyone. Bye for now.